just talk a little bit about the week that was and the position rather that it has left you guys in going into these final two games?
Yeah, it's been fun. This week was really good for us. Our details were right, our team game is right, and everyone's mind is right. So this is what you want to do when you're entering playoffs. You want to get hot and stay hot.
From the goaltender's perspective, how rewarding was it for both you and Lauren to post the shutouts back-to-back against different opponents, but in two of the most difficult rinks to play in?
Yeah, I think that just speaks to our games and our team game. The guys in front of us played phenomenal in those games, and our details were so good. And LB and I have very similar style, and when we're bouncing ideas off each other, it just feels like we're the same out there. So to do it in back-to-back fashion like that is a good testament to both of us.
And finally, I know we've talked about the Vezina with you before. The Jennings Trophy has not often come up in the conversation, but how important would it be from a team perspective as opposed to an individual perspective to bag that as well?
Yeah, that one, I've always viewed that as kind of a team award. So, and the guys worked hard in here for that. It would be awesome for them to be part of that, and I think LB is part of it just as much as I am. I don't know if we were to win it, if he would get his name on it. I don't think he would, but he definitely deserves to be on there.
When you consider how the team played at the tail end of this road trip, how close or even better does your structure look compared to that 35-game stretch where you're giving up 3 or less?
I think it's a matter of a five-man detail when they're on the ice. And it's little mistakes like line changes and turnovers that make a big difference this time of year. And I think you see us managing the game very well in that aspect. So our team game looks pretty similar, but our mistakes aren't nearly as costly.
One of the details a couple times. I'm wondering what you saw from this team leading up to this last stretch of hockey that you think allowed this team to get its details as right as you're getting them right now.
Yeah, like I was saying, the little things like line changes and turnovers at the blue lines, that makes a big difference. And not only that, being in the right position or where guys expect you to be early. If you're just drifting in there, when guys get a chance to look and check you off, if you're not there, you're not there to them. So even if you get there, you're still not there. So little things like that, it makes a huge difference. It turns your mistake into a little mistake and not a costly mistake, which is goals against.
And how did this team lock in so well on the details, do you think?
I think we were all, during that stretch, we weren't winning a whole lot of games. We were all searching in our own games, like, what could I be doing differently? And then we had a really good video session at the very end of that instead of, like, guys being mad at themselves or mad at each other, it was more of the monkey off our back, like, oh, that's what we're doing wrong, and that's what we need to be doing differently. At least for me, that's what it felt like, and ever since that moment, it was all smooth sailing from there.
In that sense, Connor, that adversity might have been a good thing in hindsight then for you guys to go through?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you can look at a single team in this league and say they had a perfect season. You have ups and downs all the time, and playoffs is one of those things where you want to be hot at the right time. I've been in the league long enough to know it and feel it. We walked into St. Louis when we had a really good team, and they got hot at the right time, and look what they did. So I think our main focus is ourselves right now. Feel right and don't lose it.
On that extent, you guys control your fate here. You need 1 point to get home ice advantage. What's the importance in your eyes of maybe starting here as opposed to in Denver?
It's not necessarily the thought of where we're going to end up in the standings, because that all kind of takes care of itself. I think at this point, like I keep saying, is you want to feel right, and you want to make sure you don't lose that. So these next 2 games are going to be get your game where you want it to be, which a lot of guys I'm sure are feeling good about themselves, and make sure it stays that way.
Connor, just if I can go back to Saturday, I think it was in the third period, where that missing puck search was on. When it wound up underneath your left skate. Is that one of the more unique places that a puck has wound up after a save?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a puck go down my knee like that. Honestly, I don't even think it was around my knee. It was just on my skate. So like it rolled back up over my skate, which is strange. I didn't feel that. Yeah, I was just glad it wasn't in the net.
Was that kind of your thought first off? Is I don't want to look back and see that it snuck in there.
The longer the search went on, the more I hoped it wasn't in the net. So I was like, please fall out of me.
A heck of a way to lose a shutout, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like you guys are going to get him back here. His importance to have a player like that kind of for these meaningful games once you get into the playoffs.
Yeah, he's a player that can do everything. And he's a force around the net. And playoff time, you need that. You need those gritty goals, and you need those garbage time, just late things that you just don't see happening, and then all of a sudden he creates it with a rebound or a screen or a small tip. Not only that, his defensive game is superb, so having him back in the lineup would be huge.
Your point about getting hot at the right time, considering that you won 6 straight, how playoff ready is your club in your view?
Yeah, I think that's a better question for coach. Like I said, I think everyone in this room is feeling good about their game, and our details are right, and our game is right, and we're winning some games, and everyone's feeling good, so we just got to make sure we keep that.